On the eve of the first reading of the controversial Treaty Principles Bill, the nationwide hikoi leading to Parliament passed through the country's two biggest cities. Huge crowds gathering at Christchurch's Bridge of Remembrance, while in Auckland, police say around 5,000 marchers crossed the harbour bridge on their way to Bastion Point, a location with historic significance after land confiscation led to occupation and mass arrests in the 1970s. And as Māori Affairs correspondent Tianiwa Hurihanganui reports, nearly 50 years later, a new generation is coming together to make their voices heard.
It's a sight we haven't seen in 20 years.
So the point in that, obviously, is 20 years ago was foreshore and seabed. So the last time this happened was foreshore and seabed, and it happened 30 years before that with the first land march.
A harbour bridge takeover covered in red, white and black. The hikoi finally arriving in our biggest city with its biggest crowd yet.
How does it feel seeing all these people walking across here today?
Just pride, eh? Just pride. Like I almost cried a couple of times just seeing how many people joined on this kaupapa.
Why do you come today? Because it's the right thing to do. Simple as that.
I walked across this bridge in 1975, and it's the last time I walked across this bridge.
How dope is that? Someone who was there in 1975. Dame Fina Cooper at the front, walking it again.
I walked across this bridge in 1975, and it's the last time I walked across this bridge because it was a fight for land. And all these years later, our people, our nationhood have been asked to defend our treaty rights.
They came any way they could.
Have you got your walking shoes?
Yes, I have.
You can see them from a mile away.
On walkers and wheels, some on shoulders or in their parents' arms.
When Mana grows up, I want him to remember that this nation's full of aroha, full of unity, ko tahitanga, there's tangata whenua, tangata tiriti.
The bridge swaying with each step. United in their opposition to the treaty.
It looks kind of terrifying, but obviously it's designed to do that. Just don't look too close. What they did apparently is they sent them over in kind of groups, and you'll see one of the previous conversations when the man with the baby was being talked to, like, it seemed like 200 metres back there was another line, and they actually sent them over in groups. That's what break step is. In the army, they used to do break step going across a bridge, because if you walk in unison, you can cause...
You literally break a bridge.
Yeah. So yeah, but those are designed to sway like that. That's because there's all sorts of wind and stuff up there.
With each step. United in their opposition to the Treaty Principles Bill.
It's crap. It's shit. It wants to renegotiate in a cheeky way without the other partner.
Kill this bill, Prime Minister.
Oh, they say kill the bill. I say read the bill, because once you see it, ask yourself, what's wrong with the government having the right to govern, the government having an obligation to uphold all people's rights, and all people's rights being equal before the law.
We honour our coalition agreements and an MMP environment.
You want to step in there? You want to? Why? Because the Peace Party always
It's the same talking points. He's going to keep on hammering it, no matter how consistently he's been debunked.
Yeah.
How consistently that has been put to bed, that's not what it's about.
And we could go on for 10 minutes about how wrong he is and what he's doing, but we could also just show one message from Horizon as well. Kind of sums it all up. There you go. Yeah. That'll do. There you go. Don't need anything else.
Why use many word when few word do?
We support the bill to first reading, and as I've said right from the beginning, we don't support it beyond that.
Some aren't convinced.
That's not enough, eh? That's not enough. Because it was in their power to kill the bill.
Bingo.
And they didn't.
Bingo.
The crowds then weaved their way around the waterfront and towards Takaparafo or Bastion Point, where Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei stood waiting. The historic site of Māori land occupation etched in their memories.
49 years ago, my brothers and I followed our father and mother over the harbour bridge on the Māori Land March. And you honour us by replicating that activity.
Now a new generation have their own fight to battle.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, like, you go, Joey. How long have we done this for, sir?
I was just going to say, like, I was going through the headlines, specifically the headlines from the New Zealand Herald. New Zealand Herald has a long and not so distinguished history in covering Māori rights, treaty issues, grievances, that sort of thing. Overwhelmingly, their headlines regarding the build-up to this hikoi was the finger-waving warnings from government and police that everybody must be on their best behaviour, and any instances of lawlessness would be punished, and parents shouldn't take their kids out of school because they'll be breaking the rules and all of that sort of stuff. And so what have we had? We've had, what now, 2-3 days of utter lawlessness? Just the rules are out the window? No. We have had consistent messaging. We have had peaceful expressions of anger, of disappointment, pointing out the unfairness of all of this. And it's just the same thing that Māori have done, unfortunately, every 15 to 20 years.
Yeah,
They
interesting
need
that,
to
isn't it?
push again. And I think the overwhelming message, it's been repeated in every stop that I've seen. Every time someone talks about it, it is about the next generation. They talk about the tipuna that have done this before. They talk about the mokopuna that are coming after. We are talking about a new generation of Māori leadership. And more to the point, it's not just Māori. It's that new generation of New Zealanders that understand the relationship that everyone has with Māori and how important the treaty is. And this is why Seymour is shit scared. This is why his Atlas patrons, supporters, are shit scared. And this is something that Luxon does not understand. Every time he says that it's part of, it was an election promise, it was part of the government coalition agreements, all of that sort of thing. What other things got left to the side of this? He said that he knows it's divisive. He said that he's going to kill it at the first opportunity, so it's a dead fucking duck. But still, there's 6 months of select committee where Seymour is just going to hammer his talking points that is just going to make people that have already decided that Māori don't deserve anything more. They've got enough that this is forcing a new apartheid in New Zealand. They won't look at the facts. They won't look at the history. They won't listen, but that's what it's going to be. Now, earlier today, I love it when Stuff do this. Stuff put up a poll, a public poll. Do you support or are you against the hikoi? How many people do you need for like a good poll result?
1,000. 3,000 is pretty spectacular.
Margin of error. Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay. Look, an online poll like this can never really be scientific.
It's not scientific. No, it's not.
It's not scientific. I'm just grabbing the results here. This is very smooth, by the way. It always is. Where is it? There we go.
Take your time, Joe. We're in no rush.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's smooth. You'll edit this out in post. It's fine.
We're live. You forget we're live.
17,500 votes. 54 support the hikoi. 46 no. So there's still a lot of dinosaurs in this country.
No. But here's the thing, yeah. And we talked a bit about this last night. Many, I can't say all, but many of those people who say no are going to be the ones that supported a particular protest in Wellington over COVID mandates. Yeah. They're going, and like I said last night, there's a particular pile of melted pancake batter who runs a show on a particular platform who was bitching about the Prime Minister meeting with these protesters. He said he would meet with them, and he's the same guy who was bitching that the Prime Minister would not meet with the protesters a couple of years ago in January, February. So you you can see the hypocrisy in people, because what those people who are saying no are saying is we don't support protest. And obviously that's not the case. What they're saying is we don't support those brown people protesting and trying to get more than they think they should get. That's what they're saying, because we should all support protest. Even if it's protest that we don't agree with the end game, it's a literal human right to protest, to organise, to publicise your grievances. So if anyone says they don't support it, they either, if I'm generous, don't understand. I won't say, or they're racist, because that's too much of a sweeping statement, but I'll say they have a slant on the world that often would speak against Māori issues. I'll put it that way. Or they don't understand. That's a generous way of doing it.